What's up everybody, this is Rocket Snail and welcome back to the Summoner's Handbook. This video marks episode 2 and where we get to take a look at one of my favorite champions, Vi. Vi's passive is Blast Shield. Whenever you hit an enemy with an activated ability, you proc a shield on yourself that equals 10% of your maximum health. Blast Shield has a reduced cooldown the higher level you are, and it is not affected by cooldown reduction. This is a really good passive. Being able to control when you get a 10% max health shield can make Vi deceptively tanky. Paired with her incredible trade potential, you shouldn't be afraid to get in there and mix it up with an opponent. Remember that Blast Shield will go off even if you hit minions with your activated abilities. The cooldown during early levels is actually very long and is the period where Vi is most prone to taking damage, so take extra care while farming if you plan to use the shield for an upcoming trade or all-in. The pairing with high health items shouldn't be overlooked when building Vi either. Considering Blast Shield scales with maximum health, items with a lot of HP technically become much more cost effective. If Blast Shield's cooldown is ready, it's like buying them with 10% extra health for free. All in all, Blast Shield can be a devastating ability in the right hands. With enough control and patience, you can effectively deceive and trick an opponent into bad trades, or just go in fist blazing knowing that you have that little extra on your side. Vi's Q is Vault Breaker. Vi charges the punch, slowing her movement speed but gaining range on the ability. When cast again, Vi dashes towards a target, dealing damage and knocking enemy champions back. Vault Breaker also applies denting blows to all enemies hit. This is the balancing act that godlike Vi's have practiced and mastered. The choice between using Vault Breaker offensively or defensively can mean life or death without knowledge of what's around. It also has a long cooldown early on, so using the skill in the wrong situation can be devastating. On the offense, Vault Breaker is a great gap closer and wall jump. A fully charged Q will hop most walls within reason and close great distance to get a range of your ultimate. When used while brawling, if you dash and knock back an enemy champion, it almost guarantees that you will land a free auto attack during their recovery time, while applying 2 stacks of denting blows. On defense, Vault Breaker is a great escape tool, but it is also never an excuse not to ward. Always keep in mind that if you run into an enemy champion, you will stop on impact. Most players upon seeing you charging Q to escape will attempt to get in the way, blocking your retreat. So use this to your advantage and take roads less traveled. Remember that you can always jump walls and dash to a brush to gain distance and vision advantage on your opponents. Vi's W is Denting Blows. Every third attack Vi lands on the same target deals additional damage equal to a percentage of the target's maximum health. The third attack also lowers the target's armor by 20% and gives Vi additional attack speed. Denting Blows is a really strong trading tool in lane as well as a strong damage boost in the jungle. A lot of the time when you lose a trade, it's because you haven't landed the third attack on the target. The amount of damage after the boost is substantial and vital when in a trading scenario. But considering that Vault Breaker puts a stack of Denting Blows on the target and Excessive Force resets your attack animation, it's fairly easy to get this rolling and you shouldn't worry too much about it. Denting Blows is part of what makes Vi such a strong bruiser and assassin of low armor champions. If you pair the armor reduction from Denting Blows with some flat armor pen, either from runes or an item, you can quickly deal a ton of damage. Also remember that Denting Blows can be placed on more than one target at a time. So when pushing a tower, try to buffer 1 or 2 stacks on surrounding minions, then kill one after your buff is run out, just so you can have a constant source of attack speed to take that tower down. Vi's E is Excessive Force. Upon activation, your next auto attack deals extra damage to the target and enemies behind it. 2 uses of Excessive Force can be stored at the same time. If Denting Blows was the bread, then Excessive Force is the butter. It's pretty much where all your damage is coming from. An aimable AoE with good damage and an attack timer reset in one skill is pretty damn good. That auto attack reset is probably the most important aspect of this skill. The amount of burst you get from 3 to 4 hits with efficient use of Excessive Force can give you a huge advantage while brawling or trading. The reset is also a part of why you shouldn't worry about completing the third attack of Denting Blows. It comes naturally while fighting. The damage on Excessive Force is not to be overlooked either. The AoE that is tacked onto your auto attacks can be aimed with proper positioning and can be used as a harassment or pushing tool when needed. Always take care when you use Excessive Force to farm due to the potent pushing ability that it grants. Excessive use of the skill can easily put you in an overextended and unsafe position. Vi's R is Assault and Battery. Vi dashes to an enemy champion, knocking it up and dealing damage. While dashing, Vi is immune to crowd control and will knock away all enemies in their path to the target, dealing additional damage to them as well. Assault and Battery will also chase through walls and will follow flashes. This is Vi's main gap closer. Always use it when you can disadvantage the enemy the most. Since you are immune to crowd control while dashing, you can bypass AoE or single target CC if timed correctly. Always keep in mind that you are not immune to damage while dashing though. If a team manages to burst you down while ulting, it will cancel. Assault and Battery has an uncanny ability to swing bad situations into decent ones. Due to its ability to push away targets, gain distance, and knock up a target, you can buy yourself a few seconds and crowd control immunity to counter all in a gank if you know escaping is impossible, seemingly swinging death into a trade scenario. Unfortunately, Assault and Battery does not apply a stack of denting blows, so be prepared to follow up on the target hit with more autos and spells if you plan to stay on target. After ulting, Vi becomes a main target for peel and damage, so make sure your team is around to follow up or your efforts will quickly become futile. It is also very easy to ult and get more than you bargained for. A slippery champion can reposition himself to where you can easily be kited or killed. Vi's Assault and Battery is the ability that ultimately defines her playstyle. Pairing CC immunity and great gap close on a bursty melee champion can mean death to most opponents, and that's what makes Vi a great bruiser and assassin. Knowing when to pick a champion based upon team synergy is just as important as the lane or jungle matchup. This segment we will focus on when the champion should be chosen and when it shouldn't. Champions that improve or safeguard Vi while diving pair extremely well with her. The best example would be an Orianna ultimate on top of Vi while she dives into a teamfight. The percentage damage on Vi's denting blows allows her to damage champions that are naturally tough and usually build full tank. Vi has the strong ability to interrupt champions while channeling, so use this to your advantage while in champion select. Assault and Battery is a fantastic tool to chase down slippery champions. That Ezreal can arcane shift all he wants, but he's still getting punched. Since most of Vi's damage depends on her auto-attacking, champions with a blind or dodge effect have an innate advantage when facing her. While Vi has gap closers, early on champions that can harass from range can be a crux while laning to Vi. This type of champion is extremely hard to trade with due to the damage they deal before the trade can even happen. They will gladly stay at range to poke and then all in you when you decide to finally go in. Champions that have better trade potential early on also give Vi a lot of trouble. Avoid these champions like the plague during your early levels. Never attempt to trade or all in unless you are certain you can come out with an advantage. And with that, this marks the end of a chapter within the Summoner's Handbook. If you liked what you saw and heard, don't be afraid to like or subscribe. Thanks for watching. This has been Rocket Snail, and I'll see you on the Rift.